In the 12 years and thousands of hours that I practiced jazz improvisation, I made countless mistakes, 3 in particular that held me back for years. And many musicians I meet are making the exact same ones. In today's video, I'm gonna share these 3 huge mistakes and how to avoid them so you will improve faster at jazz improvisation than I did. And stick around until the end of the video because I'm gonna share one of the best practice strategies I found that will help you avoid all these mistakes. The first mistake is simple. Not listening to enough jazz. This might sound obvious, but I've met many musicians that want to get good at jazz improvisation, but they barely listen to any jazz at all. This might be very well the biggest mistake you can make. The greatest jazz musicians constantly advise the younger generations to listen to music at least as much as you're practicing your instrument. And the reason for that is that listening shapes your understanding of what you're aiming for. You learn how jazz is supposed to sound like. Without listening, it's like trying to learn a language without ever hearing it spoken. Now you might think to yourself that you don't really have any favorite musicians you like to listen to. I didn't seriously start to listen to jazz until I was 20, and it took me a while to get it. But once I did, I absolutely fell in love with this music. The truth is, for many people, it takes a while to appreciate jazz. If you're struggling to find your way in and get started listening to jazz, just start with some of the classics, like Kind of Blue by the Miles Davis Quintet, Moanin' by Art Blakey, or Blue Train by John Coltrane. The second mistake is not copying the masters enough. I myself thought that I had to come up with everything myself to develop my own voice, and this really held me back. Copying isn't stealing, it's building a foundation. You learn the language of jazz by copying the masters, and only then do you start to develop your own voice. Pick a musician that resonates with you. Start transcribing their solos, copy their time feel, even copy their phrasing, every little detail. This is how you get inside the music, how you internalize the core elements of jazz. I strongly believe that if Michael Brecker or John Coltrane hadn't done their homework in transcribing their heroes, they would have never turned out the amazing musicians they were. The third mistake is practicing without a plan. If you don't know what you're aiming for when you're practicing, you're gonna improve much slower than you could. It's easy to get stuck playing the same tunes over and over again in the same keys or just noodling around to a backing track. And I've wasted many hours doing just that. Playing along to backing tracks and feeling good about how fast I could move my fingers. But this didn't help me improve. What helped me was slowing down and focusing on one particular thing. Pick something that challenges you. It might be a new chord progression, a song in a new key, or even just one difficult phrase. Then work on it until you've mastered it and it feels easy to you. Then move on to the next challenge. And if you're using a play-along, use it sparingly. It's great for testing what you've learned, but overusing it can lead to mindless playing. Practicing slowly without a backing track helps you to really pay attention to the details. Okay guys, these were the 3 biggest mistakes that many improvisers make. Now, as promised, here's one of the best practice strategies that I've found that will help you avoid all of these mistakes. When you're working on a tune, let's say for example, There Will Never Be Another You, learn the chords and the melody first. Then look for recordings of your favorite artists. For example, Dexter Gordon's version of There Will Never Be Another You. Start transcribing either the whole solo or your favorite phrases of the solo. If there is a tricky chord progression, see how, for example, Dexter Gordon handles it, and then apply it to your own soloing. The beauty of this concept is that it combines listening, copying the masters, and focused practice. You directly learn from the masters while getting the chance to right away applying it to your own soloing. This makes transcribing a natural, integral part of your practice routine. So there you have it, the 3 biggest mistakes that I see musicians making when practicing improvisation and how to avoid them. I wish I would have known these things 12 years ago already. It would have saved me a lot of time for sure. Now I would love to hear from you. Have you caught yourself making any of these mistakes when practicing? Or have you maybe learned some other valuable lessons along the way? Let me know down in the comments. By the way, I've talked a lot about transcribing in this video. If you want to learn more about this topic, make sure to check out this video next. If you found this video helpful, be sure to click the like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching and see you next time.